Touch on the sticky subject. Touch on the sticky subject. Big salute, big salute, big salute, big salute. Big salute to all my support goons, loved ones, support squad. Big salute to Big Brother now. Trapflix.com, 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 trapflix.com. Have you registered yet? If not, make sure you go register right now. And tune in, tap into the description below. Check my details for my contact details if you are interested in investing in the trap coins. Yes, they are available, but they are selling fast. Big salute to all my righteous revolutionaries. I have a reaction today. We're going to touch on a sticky subject. I'm a lover of Malcolm X. I'm a lover of Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I'm a lover of Minister Farrakhan. I'm a lover of Nation of Islam. Even though I am not a member, I repeat, even though I am not a member, I still have love for my honorable brothers. Regardless of what they had going on in the past or what happened. Let's use the Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, and Minister Farrakhan situation as a means to bring us together. See, when the devil brings division in our community, we battle amongst each other and in the battle to the devil himself. So I wanted to touch on this sticky subject today because I always hear them say, oh, Malcolm X was a infidelity and he had underage women he was messing with, but we never hear from those women. Those women are considered receipts to me. So, peace be upon the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because I found the video while I was digging in the rabbit hole. I found the video of the wives speaking. 4 of the honorable wives. I don't know exactly how many he had or how many there was rumored to be. But let's hear what the wives have to say. Since nobody wants to say what the wives, they just say, oh, he had underage girls. He had this, he had that. But nobody never asked them what they said. Those are receipts, right? So come on now, y'all. So let's touch on this sticky subject real quick. Let's see what the wives had to say to everybody. Let's go.
Sister Ellen, would you just say a quick word? We only have 10 minutes on the satellite.
Assalamu alaikum. Brothers and
One wife.
sisters, I just want to say that all the years that I worked with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad before he asked me to be his wife, there was never any kind of out of turn words, no sexual.
Oh, hold on. Let's subscribe to this channel and let's give him a thumbs up. Let's go.
Harassment. He treated us with the highest form of dignity and respect. When he came to me and asked me to be his wife, he sat down.
Oh, disclaimer alert. Disclaimer alert. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I repeat, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Let's go.
As our beloved Brother Minister Farrakhan said, and opened the Holy Quran to the place where it dealt with the wives. He loved his wife, Sister Clara Muhammad, and his children. But he said Allah was forcing him to do this for future generations. There's much I could say, but I want you to know that he was an honorable man. He is an honorable man, and he stood for the respect of all.
Now, all the prophets of the Bible, didn't they have multiple wives? Didn't they have multiple women?
All black women around the world.
All the prophets of the Bible in the Quran, well, majority of them had multiple wives, multiple women, multiple kids. Don't the Hebrew Israelites, don't they follow Jacob and his family, who are the descendants of Abraham and Noah?
This is his daughter from Sister Evelyn Muhammad, the one you saw in the movie that Evelyn was holding in her arm. This is the daughter. My son married this daughter and produced 6 children, 5 sons and 1 daughter. And these are the grandchildren of Elijah Muhammad and the grandchildren of Louis Farrakhan. They are brilliant, and I see in them the spark of their grandfather and their ages old great-grandparents, that they will be lights among the people. Sister Ola Muhammad, would you step forward, please? And where's your son? Come.
Wife number 1 and daughter, wife number 2 and son.
This is her son, Kamal. Kamal is one of the first. Are you the first? He's the first? Oh, he's the first son of the second generation. And this son was on the mercantile. What is it?
Chicago Mercantile Exchange.
Chicago Mercantile Exchange. How old were you when you were on it?
24.
24 years old. You just now about 20,
32.
32. 32 years. Now look at his face. Look at the light in him. Look at his mother. These are not cheap people. This is what God is doing. My brother Hannibal Afrique sits here. He's a student of African culture. You go to Africa, you see the chiefs. They got wives and they got children, and nobody's accusing the chief of being a cheap man in Africa, in Asia, and among all the societies.
Big facts. I'm in Africa right now. Boy, many wives is a thing out here, but you must be honorable and you must be able to take care of them. If you can't take care of multiple women, then you're not allowed to have multiple wives. Facts.
Is of our people. Is that the truth, brothers? Sister Ola, would you have a word?
Assalamu alaikum. I like to tell you that I agree and bear witness with Minister Farrakhan. I'm a south side of Chicago, raised and born. I work with you in the community. In daycare, I'm a registered nurse. I come and see many of you often. I bear witness that everything Elijah ever taught us about eating, cleaning, raising our children was true. I am a product of the Entrance School of Chicago, yet I could talk to scholars. I've raised my son as he instructed me to do, and I am quite pleased with the life that he has given to me over 40-something years. When I work on jobs and in the hospitals and communities with people, they think I'm 32. My son is 32. This is because of the great teaching that our messenger, my husband, brought to you, all of us. The wrong foods we eat raise the blood pressure, give you diabetes, high blood pressure. Once you get high blood pressure, you're definitely going to have kidney failure and an early death. Elijah Muhammad said, drop that swine.
Facts.
It's making you ugly and it's killing you.
Facts. Preach, sister.
Now we have Minister Louis Farrakhan picking up the banner.
Yes.
That's right.
Carrying on with this great teaching that we all need.
Yes.
Elijah gave him the keys.
Right.
Malcolm never had enough knowledge to hold the keys. He did not have it. And I'm sorry to say, as my husband said, he died lost and a hypocrite.
Yeah, facts. Fact, we gonna touch on that next. We got some interviews from Malcolm. Yeah, we got some interviews. Yeah.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. Sister Ola Muhammad and the National Secretary of the Nation, the son of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and his wife is my daughter. Here she is. The blood have joined. Farrakhan and Muhammad have become one. That's what he wanted. That's what he has. Now, do we look like some crazy, silly, sick? No. These are righteous people. And having wives, which I wouldn't advise nobody to do this. Don't you run into a Elijah had wives. I'm going to give me some. Don't you do that. Or you probably can't take care of the one you got.
Don't you do that. You heard what he said. Don't you do that. Because you probably can't even take care of the one that you got.
You got to first take care of the one you have. If you're faithful over little, maybe God one day will make you ruler. Oh, Sister June Muhammad,
Wife number 3, and her son.
and her son, Abdullah Yassin Muhammad. Look at it.
Well, look just like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Ooh, look just like him.
And look at her, Sister June.
Assalamu alaikum. In the most holy name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, all holy praises are due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. And in the name of our last and greatest messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I greet you in the nation's greetings of paradise. Assalamu alaikum. Brothers and sisters, I know it's a pretty hard pill to swallow that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad took on wives. And we're so mundane in our understanding of life. We have to think on a spiritual plane. He came to me when I was very young in a vision. I only saw his form and never his face. But this vision lasted with me until I was a teenager. And then after I heard Islam, the vision became prominent. It began to move. His form became more vivid. And I was worried about this because I couldn't make out his face, just his form. So after I became a wife, I told him about this. And he just smiled. I said, you were that vision that was coming to me when I was very young. And he just smiled. He never confirmed it or denied it. And I just want you to say he was a decent man, upright man, who wasn't lustful or any of those things. You will never get a leader like the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. He's a leader to us all. We're lost without him. I'm thankful that Minister Farrakhan gave me this opportunity to do this. I've been knowing Farrakhan for a long time. And we're just like old friends. And I'm really honored that he thought enough of.
Big salute to everybody tuning in, tapping in. Yeah, we getting the other side of the story. We hearing from the wives today. Because I all online, they talk bad about Farrakhan and Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but don't nobody show the wives. Can we get the receipts from the wives, please? Yeah, can we get the receipts from the wives, please? The underage women that he was doing his thing, whatever they say he was doing. Yeah, we hearing from him today, though. Yeah, we got time today.
Me to invite me out, although I got the message about 1 or 2 days before I came here. And I always felt that I had to defend the messenger. Malcolm was talking to me near the time that he was running and worried about his life being taken. And he said to me that I asked him, I said, why don't you just submit and tell the messenger that you're sorry. He says, sister, I'm going to be killed. And he says, there's nothing I can do about it. He said, never let a man tell you that he's not afraid to die. He says, I am afraid. And he said it was nothing he could do about it. He was very bitter. He wanted me to go against the messenger with him. He said, if I got you, the messenger would be very hurt. And he was trying to get me to go along with him by.
And Malcolm would tell you, he said in an interview that he talked to these ladies. He says it. Malcolm X did know these women, and he did talk to these women. Malcolm X was a student of Elijah Muhammad. Anybody on here, what happens when you go against your teacher? If you're in karate class, what happens when you go against your sensei? Can a karate kid beat Mr. Miyagi? I repeat again, can the karate kid beat Mr. Miyagi? No, he cannot. Or wax on or wax off.
Stating to me that my life was in danger as well as these other women's life were in danger, and that I should tape record my domestic affair and give it to him and he would keep it in safekeeping or give it to a lawyer. And I didn't fall for that. And I just want you to know he was very bitter and he just couldn't.
Malcolm did that. So what? So this they said Malcolm X got backdoored. No, he tried to come in the back door and got it slammed in his face. Rest in peace to Malcolm X, our brother. But you know, when you go against God and his messenger, you know your fate is already sealed. You know, when you make a deal with the devil, you're supposed to let the devil chop your head off. If you don't and you make a deal with the devil, you can't never get out that deal. No, you can't never get out the deal with the devil. Once you make that first deal, you work with the devil forever. The devil is like Suge Knight. Yeah, the devil is like Suge Knight. Once you sign a death row, yeah, you death row for life until death.
Help himself. He had turned against the messenger and chosen another path. And the messenger is the messenger of Allah. And I don't know any immoral thing about that man or this man. He is the greatest, and there is no God but Allah. And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is his last servant and apostle. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and the messenger is his messenger. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. Now that's wife number 3 and her son. Now we finna get to his most popular and most honorable, most righteous wife to me. Even though they're all honorable and they're all righteous, but the next wife is the one that got left with the Quran that Master Farad left. So let's get into it. Let's go.
And this is her son. And at last, but not least, Sister Tainetta Muhammad, whom you all know and heard from, and her sons from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. This is my assistant minister here in Chicago, and her son.
And he's still with Farrakhan to this day. Rest in peace, Madam Sanetta, peace be upon her. She just passed not too long ago. Peace be upon her soul. Oh, and she was a fine old lady, older lady. Oh, she was fine. You couldn't even tell she was in her 80s. She looked like she was in her 30s, but she was in her 80s. Man, look how good she look now. Well, in this picture, this was, back, some years back, but look how good she looked, and she still looked this way when she passed. So change the way y'all eating.
Rasul is a brilliant musician and is the minister of Mosque number 1 in Detroit, Michigan. And now, Sister Tainetta Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom all holy praise is due forever, for raising in our midst the greatest,
who came in the person of Allah. God can create a body for himself, prepare a body. It don't matter if it's black, white. So let me everybody say, oh, Master Farad Muhammad was a white man. He was a white man. But why wouldn't you follow? If a white man would tell you that, yeah, white people are devils, whether he was white or not, he was really a red man. His mama was white and his daddy was black. He was made that way by the elders on the other side. See, the brothers in America, they don't know nothing about the elders. They just be ashaying. see the people that be ashaying, they really praying to the 12 elders, the 24 elders, 12 upper, 12 lower. See, y'all ashayers, y'all need to get some more knowledge, baby. Y'all need to get some more knowledge. The ashayers are they are praying to the Elohim, and the Elohim have one leader, that is Allah.
man that we have or will ever know, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I thank Allah, and I thank the Honorable Elijah Muhammad for raising up this brother, our beloved.
Let me hear on what my brother just said. People in America do want to be demons and killers. You want me to tell you why? Because I used to be a demon. I ain't gonna put the killer label on myself, but I used to be a pure motherfucking demon. You hear me? And it still be on me sometimes. I be trying to shake that motherfucker off. Whoa, shit! Because being a demon, I ain't gonna lie to you, it feel good. Being a demon do feel good. You get a rush. Yeah, you know how you take that drink of liquor and you get that spirit in you? Yeah, demon life, you get a rush. Yeah, I used to love it until God spoke to me like, look, well, you ain't gonna last too much longer. Do you like life? Do you want to burn forever? Nah, I don't want to burn forever. So yeah, you right. You right, family in America. Yeah, we only want to pray one day, Sunday, or only on Sundays, and when we need help. Yeah, that's what the Christians in America are the only Christians in the world that still pray to a white Jesus. You see, what do the Christians? Who do the Christians in Russia pray to? Black Mary and Black Jesus. Huh? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that in America, Black America, even white America know that Jesus' name was black folk? But Black America, they don't know that. Because this is what they elders that were slaves taught them. They still in a slave mind state. They are still deaf, dumb, and blind. So peace be upon Elijah Muhammad, the greatest leader America ever had, because he woke up the deaf, the dumb, and the blind. Let's get back into it.
Minister Louis Farrakhan for making this day happen. It was through the inspiration of Almighty God Allah that we are 28 years from the time of the assassination of Malcolm, and that Allah put it in the heart of our beloved minister to bring us.
Do you see that Quran she holding? That's the most sacred book in Black America right now. That's the most sacred book in Black America right now. That's the most important book that's in the possession of Black America right now. That book, that Quran right there, was given by the master teacher.
Together in the public to witness to all of you that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the most noble and virtuous and moral man that you will ever know if you live to be 1,000 or 2,000 years old. Finally, when one of the Prophet's wives was asked about the character of Muhammad, she pointed to this book, the Holy Quran, and she said that Muhammad's character and his morals in essence is the Holy Quran. So I want all of you to ponder over the days to come, the years to come, and make up your mind from this day forward that if we are to be guided into a peaceful and happy world, that we must come together as family and begin to discuss openly our beliefs, our differences, no matter what it may be. But we must know from this day on that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the messenger of Allah, is a savior for you and I, and he is the exalted Christ. Thank you very much.
Brothers and sisters, may I please?
And we're going to leave it right there. Okay. Now, we're going to see what Malcolm had to say. I just had to get the wives in there first. Yeah, we just had to get the wives in there first. Now let's see what Malcolm say. Yeah, Malcolm.
All right. Minister Malcolm, when you broke with Elijah Muhammad back in March, you said it was because the black Muslims were too narrowly sectarian and inhibited, and because Elijah Muhammad had become blindly jealous of you and the personal following you had gathered.
I said the first part, but the last part, I didn't say that Elijah Muhammad himself had become blindly jealous. I mentioned that it was his family and the officials in Chicago. Everything that I said always was designed to protect Mr. Muhammad himself, primarily because the image that he had created.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Malcolm, come on now. Now, see, when I go back and watch the Malcolm X interviews, then I get mad because now I see behind the scenes, man, I love this brother to death, but he signed some kind of deal when he went on his pilgrimage to Mecca and he met with them, the rich folk. You know, they poisoned him and all that. The devil took him to the mountaintop and said, I will give you all of this. You do my bidding. And that's what Malcolm did. Malcolm took it, man. Just
I don't see an app for that. You'll need to download one.
Just got to accept it, y'all. Malcolm, he wanted the glory. But like one of the wives said, he didn't have enough knowledge. Yeah, he had the black power in him. He had that. He had the charisma. But he didn't have all the knowledge he needed. Just listen to him talk.
Was the image that enabled his followers to remain strong in faith and things of that sort. And I didn't want to see any adverse effect or negative result.
You didn't. You wouldn't have said what you said. You wouldn't have brought it out the house. You wouldn't have brought it outside the mob. Whatever happens inside the mob stays inside the mob. Whatever happens inside the family stays inside the family. You wouldn't have went to the white man and talked your shit. If you had a problem, you would have kept doing your thing on your own. Why you go to the white man, bro?
In the faith of all of his followers.
Why you go to the devil, bro? Call yourself is that slander. The Quran speaks about slanderers and hypocrites. Elijah Muhammad ain't come out and say, oh, Malcolm makes this, Malcolm makes that. Oh, this got started because Malcolm brought it to the light. Malcolm. Not because of Elijah Muhammad, not because of Farrakhan, not because of all these other people. Malcolm X chose his path. He chose to rock with the other team.
Mhm.
But actually, despite the fact that I tried to protect the Muslim movement, if you'll notice, they use their newspaper to slander me and to label me as a hypocrite and as a rebel. And Mr. Muhammad himself said that I defected. Well, in reality, I never even left the Muslim movement. They put me out. And they put me out because of what I knew. And what I knew was told to me by Mr. Muhammad's son.
Good look, fam. Good look, fam. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Entertainment and educational purposes only. Let's go.
Wallace Muhammad himself.
Oh, and we're going to talk about Wallace Muhammad, the eldest son of Elijah Muhammad, who got kicked out of the Nation of Islam. I think him and his mama, because his mama turned on Elijah too. If I ain't mistaken, we're going to talk about Wallace. We're going to talk about old Wallace. We're going to talk about old Wallace.
Himself. They put me out and they put him out.
Since he the one, Wallace and Malcolm X was the ones that started all this. Because everybody know, if you do your research about Wallace Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad's eldest son, yeah, when the Nation of Islam fell, he got hold of everything and sold everything and got missing.
Wow.
Well, now, first of all, let's find out what it is that Wallace Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad's son, told you.
Well, number one, if you notice, the stick that I always used in presenting, representing, and defending the Muslim movement was the fact that it had the ability to reform the morals of the so-called Negro community. It eliminated drug addiction, alcoholism, fornication, adultery, loose sexual behavior, which meant that...
You see what he telling you what Elijah did. The first one in America to do this. We didn't have no other black leader to do this. Raise up crackheads, raise up junkies, raise up winos. Who else did that? Name one. I'll wait.
It eliminated bastard babies, illegitimate children. Well, as long as I knew that this was what it represented and it gave me a strong stick, I could represent it and defend it. But we had a law which was that whenever any Muslim became involved in any kind of sexual relationship with someone to whom they weren't married, that person would be brought before the Muslim community, humiliated, and then isolated for from 1 to 5 years. This was our law. Well, in 1954, a teenage sister left Detroit and became one of Mr. Muhammad's personal secretaries. And there in the Chicago office.
Now, see, now we just heard from one of the wives, I believe one of the wives from Detroit. We just heard from her. So, Malcolm, why didn't you bring your... See, back in them days, you didn't have to have receipts. They just went off, he said, she said. But in these days and times, you got to have receipts, baby. Now that we looking back, yeah, you took the money bag, bro, big bro. I love you, but he took the money bag.
She became pregnant after being there for a year, and she was brought before the Muslim community and humiliated and isolated. And a year later, another secretary, this time one from Lansing, Michigan, came to Chicago. She also became pregnant. She was brought before the community and humiliated and isolated. And because the other person was never brought forth during this court session, it was concluded by all of Mr. Muhammad's followers that it was a non-Muslim who was the other party. Well, we grew so rapidly until that in 1957 or 58, the secretarial staff was expanded to, I think, 8 teenage sisters. In 1959, 6 of them disappeared. 2 of them reappeared in Philadelphia about 2 or 3 months later, and they were all right. The other 4 reappeared in 1960. All 4 of them had babies. All 4 of them had become involved with someone and become pregnant and had these children. So it was, from what I now know, when the 4 of them got back to Chicago and began to compare notes, they found that the same man had told all of them the same story and had made all of them pregnant, that the same man was the father of all 4 of their children and had also been the father of the children brought forth by the two secretaries who preceded them. So this story was kept among these sisters until 1962. Two of them rebelled against the person who was responsible and began to tell the story all over the city of Chicago. It caused many of the Muslims in the Chicago mosque to leave and go back out in the street. They knew it. And
so they relapsed off of something they heard. They went back to the streets, left God and went back to the streets off of something they heard. That just goes to show you how lost our ancestors, our elders were, and a lot of them still are.
I knew nothing about it until 1963, when Mr. Muhammad's son, who had been in prison, came out, and he had been a minister, and he was very religious and spiritual. And when he began to hear these rumors around Chicago, he went to one of the sisters, and the sister admitted to him that the rumor was true. And it was he who first told me about it. And when he told me about it, I wrote to Mr. Muhammad and told him about it, and he admitted that he had a knowledge of it, and that he'd given me a religious explanation that would fit into prophecy and all of that. So I was quiet. And it wasn't until October of 1963 that it came up again. And when it came up again, I realized that the same person who had made these other sisters.
Man. Now, see, the way he explained it, that won't work this day and time. See, we got too much internet and everything now, so you can go back and do extensive research. That wouldn't work.
Pregnant, was still busy doing the same thing. He hadn't stopped. Two of the sisters had two children by the same man, and one of those two sisters was pregnant still, getting ready to have a third child by the same man. So when it was known among the Chicago officials that I had a knowledge of this, they become very fearful of me. They became very antagonistic toward me, and they had to do something to diminish the authority that I had, for fear that if this became public knowledge, the followers would leave the Muslim movement and follow me. And it was at that time that they used the statement that I made against President Kennedy as a pretext to cut my authority, and some other things happened that finally produced the split, or forced the split. And when I made the split, the only reason that I didn't make this public knowledge was I knew the implications, and I felt that if the Muslims who were in the Nation of Islam knew it, that which enabled them to be so strongly religious and exercise moral discipline would be shattered, and it would cause all of them to go right back and start doing the things that they had been doing previously.
Who is the father of all of these various children whom you have enumerated?
The first one to tell me who the father was Wallace Muhammad, and he told me that the father was Elijah Muhammad himself. One of the sisters, he went to the home of one of the sisters, and when he walked in the door, she says, "I want to let you see something." And she showed him her child. She said, "Here's your brother, and your father is the father of this child."
So I wonder why Wallace was so salty. Was that why Wallace was salty? Why was Wallace so? We're gonna find out why Wallace, the eldest son, why he was so salty.
And then I questioned the sister.
Because he was a thug too. He was in and out of prison. Yeah. While Wallace Muhammad, yeah. He didn't never go all the way righteous though. He wanted to do his little thing on the side. So conspiracy, sometimes even the devil will use your own family, your own kids against you.
As myself, because I was shook up, and they admitted to me that Elijah Muhammad was the father of their children, and I took it to him. And it was at that time he told me that he was Muhammad, the prophet, and that Muhammad had 9 wives. He also told me that he was David. He was the modern David, and that he was the modern Solomon, and that it was meant for him to fulfill today all of the things that they did back there.
And how many of these illegitimate children did he father with the sisters?
Well, he made 6 sisters pregnant. They all had children. 2 of those 6 had 2 children. One of those 2 is having a child right now. I am told that there is a 7th sister who is supposed to be in Mexico right now, and she's supposed to be having a child by him. For one thing, when you first separate from your wife, it's a physical separation, but it's not psychological. You still have feelings for her, and you protect her. But after the physical separation has taken place for a while, it becomes a psychological separation. It was the same way with me and the Muslim movement. When I first separated, it was a physical separation, but my feeling was still there. And it was only after my trip into the Muslim world and in my pilgrimage to Mecca that I really was able to exercise the objective approach to it that enabled me to see that something had to be done to bring this to light. Otherwise, a whole lot of innocent people would be killed needlessly.
See, he letting you know that trip to Mecca, instead of it bringing him closer to Islam, it brought him further.
Well, these rebels.
And he's talking about he worried about innocent people getting killed. Brother, what ain't you the one talking about carrying guns? If the white man, if somebody smack you, you smack them back. Come on, my brother. Who gonna be the fastest one to get folk killed? Come on now. This is why the Nation of Islam does not promote guns. They don't promote guns because Elijah Muhammad will tell you, you live by the gun, you die by the gun. Ain't that the motto in the streets in America? You live by the gun, you die by the gun. So choose your fate.
Revelations that you are now making about Elijah Muhammad, what effect should they have on his following?
Well, I very much doubt that any of his followers who really are aware of what he has done would continue to follow him. He may try and justify it by saying that he's a Muslim, and that a Muslim has a right to these wives. If this were the case, these sisters should not have been humiliated. These sisters have been looked upon for the past 5 years, or 6 years, or 7 years as being guilty of having committed fornication. They have been debased.
That's not what they said. That's not what they said. We just heard what from the sisters. Minus what, 2 or 3? So where the other 3 at? What, come on now.
They have been degraded. I have heard him himself refer to them as having disgraced him. So if they were his wives, he should have given them a position of respect so that all of his followers would respect them and that they would have the protection of his followers today.
Well, do you feel that you then perhaps now should
28 years after the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's death, 4 of them riding with him hard, and we ain't heard from the other ones. Come on now.
take over the leadership of the black Muslims?
No, I have no desire to take over the leadership of the black Muslims, and I have never had that desire. But I do have this desire. I have a desire to see the Afro-American in this country get the human rights that are his due. I believe that the Islam religion is the best religion for our people because it creates unity and it gives one dignity and racial confidence and all of these things that are necessary to make a complete human being.
Are you?
And we're going to leave it right there. Because I want y'all to go back and look at this interview. Matter of fact, we're going to like this brother channel and we're going to give him a thumbs up. Now, let's see what Wallace Muhammad. Oh, this is an interview I seen the other night. Let's see this. Now, this one they was in Pakistan.
We have to understand that Mr. Farad did not look outside of religion.
Oh, disclaimer. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Entertainment and educational purposes only.
To put his ideas together. Mm-hmm. He looked at Christianity. He might have even looked at the Hinduism. I don't know. Jainism, who knows? But I know he looked mostly at.
Come on, now just listen to how this this brother talk, he sound like he rebelled against his father. I don't know. But he trying to make a point, though. I don't know. Where your receipts at, Wallace? You don't hold no weight, Wallace. Okay, you just started off. And you see the look on Farrakhan's face like, man, I'm so disappointed. I'm supposed to be representing the messenger, and I got his dumbass, ignorant son with me, making a fool of us.
Christianity as given in the Bible, okay? And the Bible says of Christ Jesus, peace be upon him. Not that we follow this, but I'm giving this to show what perhaps influenced Mr. Farad. Or Master Farad. He was a master psychologist. He knew how to deal with people with problems and help them. Okay, so he, I said, looked at the Bible too to see what can he get from the Bible.
See, you heard right out of the snake mouth. See, this brother right here, this is a real snake right here. A real snake. Turned on his own father. Now just listen to him. Just listen to him.
To help a people who are already in the Bible. We were in the Bible. We believed in the Bible in the church. And he found where it said, Jesus said, it is
a lot, most of the same, the most important people, well, I ain't gonna say the most important, but a lot of the same people that's in the Quran are the same people that's in the Bible, because all the people that's in the Bible got taken from the Quran. Yeah, yep.
It said of Jesus taught me that he took mud and he put on the blind man's eye, and the blind man right away could see. Mud on his eyes. That's what Farad did. He put mud on our eyes.
No, I think
to keep us from seeing what we were seeing before.
Correct.
And once the
look how Farrakhan looking at him like, boy, I'll smack the rest of the hair you got off your head off. Look how Farrakhan looking at him. Honorable. Let that man talk, and then we're gonna listen to what Farrakhan got to say. Because it's really all three of them debating. You got an Orthodox Muslim, one of the original, and then you got Farrakhan, who's the new generation of Muslim, and then you got a fucking devil-ass snake that just taking little bits and pieces that he took from his father and the master, and now he trying to explain himself.
The mud is washed off.
Unbelievable.
We can see Islam, we can see the Quran, we can see Muhammad.
No, there is no question that either through the myth or through the methodology,
yes,
he was an important person, and no one will disagree.
He asked the question. Look what Farad did. He treated all the people who would come in the Temple of Islam as students, and he said, "What means and method?" He asks the question. What means and methods must be used to solve our problems, to wake us? He asked the question himself.
Plus, according to what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said to us.
Yeah, cut him off, Farrakhan.
Master Farad Muhammad.
Yeah, cut him off, Farrakhan. It ain't Wallace who trying to cover for Farrakhan. It's Farrakhan trying to cover for Wallace while they overseas. Boy, you got us out here looking stupid. You guys out here looking like some ignorant ass Muslims. Come on now.
Muhammad gave him 104 books to study. And Elijah Muhammad said to me, the best of those books was the Holy Quran. And the other 103 all contained aspects of the life of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The only picture we have of Farad Muhammad is his eyes looking into the Quran.
That's true.
Yes. So what was he teaching us? And lastly on that, I made a tape as a representative of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I taught something on the history of Jesus as he taught it. And when I came out to the house, he had my tape with red on the back of it. And he said to me, I don't want you teaching what I taught 40 years ago. I want you to teach the meaning of what I taught, because truth was hidden inside of that, but not necessarily that. Then he said, I'm sick and tired of my ministers quoting the Bible. He said, the Quran is the root of Muhammad, so study the Quran. So to me, here was a man that was moving us in a direction, but he did not want.
Look at Wallace trying to cut the minister off. Shut up, Wallace. Let the minister talk. He let you talk, look stupid.
If I may humbly say this, the old world of Islam to interfere with our coming up.
I agree 100%.
And if I heard somebody say, if they go to over in these Muslim countries talking about Master Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad and the messenger this, messenger that they will get their heads chopped off. Listen to what Farrakhan tell this Pakistani man right here. The old Islam, get your ass out the way for the new rise of Islam.
And I asked myself, why didn't he want the old world of Islam
in a foreign country? On the news. See, people be playing these videos and they don't really be listening. They don't watch them first. You know, you can't play these videos if you don't watch and listen. Now, see, this is somebody that has learned from a master. And just look how he humbly speaking.
To interfere with our coming up.
Don't interfere.
Because from a humble heart, he taught us to love Islam.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To love our world of Islam,
yeah.
to respect our world of Islam.
Yeah.
But he also knew that our world of Islam had deviated. Yep. And by our coming to the prophet, who was without blemish, but yet we had to come to him through those who represented him. Mm-hmm. And they didn't always represent him properly. So by keeping us from the old world of Islam and rearing us in this way.
Because you got some older Islam sects that still worship idols. That's why Abraham went to Mecca and built the Kaaba. Y'all know Abraham, right? He built the Kaaba because they was up there in worshiping idols. Abraham was the first head smacker. Y'all gonna stop worshiping these idols. The next one you hear about is Jesus. And then the next one you hear about is Muhammad. That's why Muhammad went to chopping off heads, because people was ready to die to worship their idols. Yeah, well, if you want to worship your idols, yeah, off with your head.
When we would come to the prophet, we would come in a way that we would not allow the corruption of our world of Islam to influence our behavior.
That's right.
We
I agree.
No one would have any disagreement with that.
You shared that with me before too.
Yeah. Well, what the Pakistani man say? Nobody would have any disagreement with that. You heard what the Pakistani man said. You heard what the Pakistani man said. We agree with that. We have no disagreement with that.
Yes.
It's the second time I'm hearing this from Minister Farrakhan. He shared that with me before.
Y'all better start watching y'all videos before y'all be trying to do reactions. And you know, I know people mean well. And there's a lot of people confused and a lot of people trying to figure out what's going on. But do your research and do your studying first. Please.
And I appreciate it, because I didn't.
Matter of fact, we're going to leave that right there, because I want to touch on something else too. I want to hit on something else. Yeah, we only got research Wallace. We see he a snake. Elijah Muhammad in Africa. Yeah, let's see what's going on when Elijah Muhammad went.
This war going on in Africa, let me get this over to you. Yes, sir. I was over there, the first of the year. All right, how are you now? What did you learn? What did you see, Elijah? I saw trouble. I saw trouble coming.
Oh, well, he was. Oh, I thought they were gonna show him on the tour. Let's do Farrakhan Africa tour. See, this is why if you are in America and you are of the Nation of Islam, you already have friends in Africa. But if you're not, yeah, you might be in a little trouble. You know, you better come make you some connections. Yeah, you better come make you some connections. Look at Gaddafi. What Gaddafi say? I'm a leader of a revolution, not a country. And they got nerve to say.
Are there times when you would love to have another address or phone number to use instead of your home address and personal?
What you got to remember, all the Islamic nations know of the lost tribe. They are waiting on us to wake up. This is one thing I want all y'all to know, Black America. While y'all still sleep and following the slave master and don't want to break them mental slavery chains, the world is waiting on you. Even the Indians waiting on you. Black America. We waiting on y'all to wake up. We waiting on y'all to be tired of being slaves. But I guess y'all so high and drunk and so into looking at ass and fucking this hole and that hole and getting this car and that car, buying big chain this and big chain that. I guess y'all too distracted and confused to take your righteous place like your ancestors. Which if your ancestors would see you right now, they'd be smacking your ass up and down the street. So tighten up, Black America. In the West Bank. Ain't that where it's going down at right now with Israel? Ain't that's one of them real Islamic countries, right? Come on now. Come on now. Spreading the message all over Africa. Yeah, the West Bank, Israel, Palestine, all that. Yeah, that's Africa, even though they say the Middle East. That's Africa too. Sorry about that.
The mission is peace. And I would hope to encourage that process. Because if this...
Now, if Farrakhan them, if the Nation of Islam was promoting guns, do you think they would have let Farrakhan go all the way to the West Bank? Huh? No, they ain't going for that. Come on now. Even though they really can't touch him because he's protected by the supreme being. Yeah, he's protected. So they really can't touch him. Blow a plane out the sky, none of that. Now unless Allah wills it. But it ain't happened yet.
This area breaks into war, it could engulf the entire world. I will have more to say, God willing, tomorrow, hopefully in Jerusalem.
Yeah, so I would love, I like that Farrakhan is all. He make us look real good in America. Yeah, he make Black Americans, African Americans look real good. He make y'all look intelligent until y'all get on TV. Real Housewives, your Charleston Whites, your Jay Princes, all these folk that y'all distracted by right now. Y'all making us look bad in front of the rest of the world. See, but brothers like this make us look good. That's why the world knows it's two sides to Black America. That's why they don't say United States. They say, oh, you from the divided states? Yeah, I'm from the divided states. And you can't do nothing but shake your head. Yeah. Oh, you know? That's what's going. When you go overseas, you be like, oh, you know how divided we is in America. It's gonna come as a shock to you. But yeah, the world watching, baby. The world watching.
Is there any activity to gather these minority together?
I have been critical of some aspects of Jewish behavior toward black people. I have never been, I am not now, anti-Semitic. I do not hate the Jewish people, nor do I hate Arabs, nor.
Okay, we're gonna leave that right there. I'm looking for when he was with Gaddafi. He was even in Indonesia. Look. Come on now. Farrakhan already paved the way for us. So who gonna pave the way for Black America to get help from the rest of the world? Yeah, so if you don't, it's looking like, from what I'm taking in from doing my little digging in the rabbit hole, Black America, if you shit, you chose the devil. If you ain't choosing Islam, you choosing your devilish ways. Yeah, you gonna get your nose wiped. You see what's happening with Russia and China right now. Y'all finna get y'all noses wiped. You better submit to the will of Allah. So you'll see the path of which way to go to safety. Because if you don't, yeah, because I just left America and I see it's a lot of people that's lost. Yeah, it's a lot of people that's lost. Look, even met Mandela. Come on, man. What other Black American leader done went around the world to pave the way for us? Huh? Somebody name me one. Can I get one, please? How many people I got on here? We got 10 people on here, and can't nobody name me one person. Can't nobody name me one person. Come on now. So what I'm gonna need y'all to do, I'm gonna need y'all to react. I'm gonna need y'all to leave me some comments. Even though this is a touchy subject, but I wanted to bring this subject up because we need to come together. If we come together, we don't need to fight neo-Nazis. We don't need to fight these folk. We don't need to fight. We don't even need the guns, even though it feel good. It feel good, that adrenaline round. Waka, 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 waka. Get your song. That gun, yeah, it is. It feel good. But let that shit go. That's part of boosting up your ego. Kill your ego. If you want to be righteous and humble, if you want to be able to commune and eat with God and talk with God, you better get your humbleness and your righteousness all the way together. Yeah, you better get your humbleness and your righteousness all the way together, because if not, yeah, God has no use for you. He ain't got no use for you. If you won't submit, what get your nose wiped then. You know what's waiting on you if you don't submit? A divine chastisement. And hell is the resort. That's what's waiting on you. That's what's waiting on you. Sorry about that. So let's get unity in the community, y'all. We need all the unity we can get. You know, I really didn't want to touch on this subject, but it's two sides to every story. Don't just pick one side because you in your emotions. You know, look at both sides. Be fair. Be equal. Because it's two sides to every story. Yeah, we may have been infiltrated. Yeah, they may have used NOI to kill Malcolm. But like they said, Malcolm signed up for the NOI. That's like you going to the gang, so your family can't get mad when the gang come kill you when you go against the gang leader. You go against the gang, they come kill you, now your family mad. You go against the United States government come kill you, either lock you up, now your family mad. What can you do? So we got to accept it, y'all. Malcolm X chose his fate. He got too big for his britches. He went against Mr. Miyagi. What would happen to the Karate Kid if he go against Mr. Miyagi? Huh? Can somebody talk to me, please? Huh? Can somebody talk to me? What's going to happen to the Karate Kid if he go against Mr. Miyagi? Huh? What happens when a student go against sensei? Huh? Huh? Instead of just waiting your turn in line. The only problem they had with each other was Malcolm wanted to arm people. Ain't no need for that. If God wanted people to get armed and go to war, then he would have saved that for our generation. He wouldn't have used that for Muhammad. Peace be upon him. Generation. The generation of jihad. Huh? So we got to accept it, y'all. Malcolm chose his fate. He went against his family, so his family handled him. I know he was part of the Black American family too, but he put us to the side and he signed up for the Nation of Islam. And he went against the messenger. So he chose his fate. Whether the CIA used some brothers or whatever happened, you know the devil is working. You know he working. He infiltrates whatever we do, whether it's basketball, football. Look at what's the last dude just got locked up? Look at Grandmaster Jay. You got all these folk with guns around you. How the hell you get locked up? He should have never spoke on insight. He should have never spoke on family business. Now, how would you feel if somebody spoke on your family business? This for everybody that's a diehard Malcolm X. F everybody else, Malcolm X, Malcolm X. How would you feel if somebody you teaching go against you? One of your little jitterbugs, one of your youth, one of your nephews, one of your sons, one of your little homies go against you like they know more than you. How you gonna feel? And they signed up for your program. Huh? They accepted to be a part of your program. And now they feel like they bigger than you. Oh, yeah. I agree with you, yeah, because Malcolm X, he empowered the black man. We need all the empowerment we can get. But he made wrong decisions. He made wrong personal decisions. Now, if he gonna empower the black man, all that behind the scenes stuff was going on with people's personal lives, leave that within the family. Yeah, leave that within the family. Don't bring that outside for the world. Oh, because the devil out there waiting on you. Oh, the devil got my back. Yeah, the devil got my back. Exactly. See? Exactly, yeah. See, it be your homies, it be your own family, be the first ones to do you wrong. Your own families. So the lesson that we need to take from this, the lesson that we need to take from the problems between Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, Minister Farrakhan, Nation of Islam, we need to keep our unity. We need to unify everybody, whether you Christian, Muslim, it don't matter what you is. All of us need to come together. This is the message that need to be taken from this. Because while all this was going on, the enemy was sitting back laughing. Woo, we got us. Woo, we got them. And that now the enemy is leaving it up to their ancestors to pay for what they did. You see what the agents do with chaos and confusion between the brothers? See, we experienced it firsthand in Africa. They sent the little lady chick over here and killed the whole operation. Well, not killed it, but she slowed down the whole operation. So we know what the devil is capable of behind the scenes. It's like a gang leader that's locked up in jail still sending hits from the prison. Still sending hits from the prison. Excuse me, y'all. So I got a little gas. Sorry. But yeah. So the message we need to take from this, from Malcolm X passing, from all of our leaders passing. Unity, y'all. Try not to let nothing come in between us, man. We need to come together. And the ones that don't want to come together, be righteous and humble, remember, we don't got to use guns to fight these folk. All we got to do is separate. All we got to do is separate. Like Martin Luther King said, matter of fact, that's what we going to end off on. That's what we going to end off on. What did MLK say his biggest mistake? I want to hear from him. I see other people have written it. I want to see, because they said MLK. Well, look at what MLK said. He should have never integrated. He should have been preaching separation, build our own. That's one reason why they killed MLK, because he like, no, I see how these kids is going to school, getting harassed by Jerry Jones them and Jim Crow Sleepy Joe them. They seen how the kids was getting harassed. So he's like, nah, this is a mistake. But before he can go to the United Nations and demand civil and human rights and get back to separation, they killed him. Because after Memphis, he was going to New York City to the United Nations. So people want to still push the Martin Luther King legacy and name. Why they not lead no? Why ain't nobody saying nothing about the United Nations? Huh? If people really want reparations, that's where you go to get them. The United Nations in New York City, Manhattan, baby. But niggas really don't want reparations. They just keep y'all confused and throwed off. Agents of chaos and confusion. Agents of chaos and confusion. So when y'all hear these Pan-Africanists, all these people talking about they want to be leaders of the black, tell them when they lead the march on the United Nations. I'll come back to America for that. When we gonna tear New York ass up? Because the whole world owe us, not just America, the whole motherfucking world. And their headquarters is in Manhattan, New York. One of them is in Nairobi, Kenya. But the big office, the big house, is in Manhattan, New York. So you hear these folk talking about they Pan-African, they leading movements, they doing this, they doing that. They talking bad about MLK. Ask them, man, the Hebrew Israelites, all these, ask them. Man, when we marching on the United Nations? When we going to the International Criminal Court to put our complaint in? Who want to put a complaint in for us? I vote Dr. Umar Johnson to go because it seemed like he got the best breakdown. I believe Dr. Umar Johnson should hook up and partner with the Nation of Islam. And I feel like Dr. Umar Johnson hook up with Ben X and Rizza Islam. Them three together, well, they can get it done. Yeah, I think them three together, they can get it done. We don't need no Tariq Nasheeds. We don't need no Pan-Africanism strike back. We just need them three brothers right there. Them three young brothers. Yeah, we need them three young brothers right there. Brother Ben X, Rizza Islam, and Dr. Umar Johnson. Because they don't got nobody that can compete and talk with them three. If we get them three brothers together, can't nobody whoop them in a debate. Nobody. Ain't nobody in America that can whoop them in a debate. I don't care who you name or who you think can. They can't. Three young brothers. I think Dr. Umar Johnson, he probably is the eldest one out of the three. It's probably Dr. Umar Johnson is the eldest, then Rizza Islam, and Brother Ben X. I don't know how old them two brothers is. But if we can get them three brothers together, because them the only three brothers I've heard that got the mind that might can go up there and put up a fight for us. Now, if I see them three brothers come together and they march on the United Nations, boy, I'm on the first thing smoking back to goddamn America. I'm one way to New York City. And we're going to tear that motherfucker up. Yeah, we're going to tear that motherfucker up. If they don't be talking about giving all black people all over the world. We ain't just talking about Black America. Stop being selfish, Black America. We ain't just talking about Black America. We talking about all the black Ooh, we talking about black folks all over the world. I'm a tribal member. What tribe you from, y'all? Yeah, Cherokee. Yeah, because a lot of natives, I think the natives were put through the system more extensive than the black man was. Um, their numbers wasn't as big. They killed the numbers off of the native community, and then so when all the elders, the women and the men, because when they was having the Indian War, they killed off all the men and the women, and they put the kids on reservations. At first, they were calling the reservations re-education camps. So it's already, I think it's a little too late for the Native American community, the ones that was put on the reservations, because look at how they decimated they decimated the Native American people, man. They decimated them folk. And when nobody stand up and ride with them, not even the slaves. They had some slaves that came through, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. Hey, you got, because they've been indoctrinated. They've been taught that's what the big talk is with the Native American community in America now. Is they talking about the Catholic Church, the churches that were taking care of the kids was coming up missing, they was being molested, all type of things was happening to them Native American kids on them reservations because they didn't have no adults to watch them. So the killers of their parents had to watch them and teach them. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? The killers of their grandparents and their parents had to teach them. So what do you think them folk taught them kids on them reservations? Because when you read about the Trail of Tears, it wasn't nothing but kids and old people. It wasn't no military age men, military age women marching in the Trail of Tears. Come on now. Y'all better do y'all research. Yeah, y'all better do y'all research. It wasn't no military age men or women. They had killed them all. They genocided them folk, man. That's why they went ahead and just gave them land, because they was all kids. They like, oh, we're going to re-educate them. Yeah. We're going to re-educate them. And we're going to, just blend them into the, yeah. So, yeah. It's a cold game, fam. Cold game. So, yeah, y'all make sure y'all leave me y'all reaction, man. Leave me y'all comment, man. Look, remember, this message is to bring unity in the community, y'all. We need unity. We need to come together and stop bickering about who was right, who was wrong. They should have did this. They should have did that. What are we doing right now? Huh? What are we doing right now? Instead of dwelling on the past. Only thing we need to do with the past is take notes so we don't make the same mistakes for the future. You understand me? That's what we need to be dwelling about the past about, so we don't make the same mistakes of the future. That's why all these messages is for. These messengers and the message that they gave is for the next generation to not make the same mistake. So big salute to everybody, man. Trapflix.com. I'm going to do some more digging in the rabbit hole. I'm going to try not to come back and touch on this subject, but I just had to touch on it for Black History Month. This for Black History Month. Black History Month almost over. So we're going to look for some more stuff, some more Black history facts, but we just had to, I just had to touch on this because there's two sides to every story. And we always hear, oh, Elijah Muhammad was messing with the little girls. Oh, he was messing with the little girls. But don't nobody never show the little girls. Don't nobody never, don't know who, why they don't bring more receipts. But today I brought y'all some receipts. We heard from 4 wives, and all of them got kids that look just like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And they are still rocking with him, Now that video was maybe almost 20 years ago, maybe, I don't know. It was a minute ago, but that was 28 years after he died. So when people get to talk about that Malcolm X, tell them, man, what the wives say? Huh? The wives will tell you, yeah, Malcolm ran up on them. Yeah, this is what y'all need to do. Y'all need to do this. Yeah, because he ain't no good. So a back door on a back door. So when y'all think about Malcolm X getting killed and he was trying to backdoor the Elijah, no, Malcolm X tried to backdoor and got backdoored. That's what you call a backdoor on a backdoor. So big salute y'all, man. Love y'all, man. Unity, let's come together. Get your knowledge up. Unity, prepare the best you can. I love y'all, man. Big salute. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Yeah. Government did. The government used just like the government doing today. The government is using us to kill ourselves. Ain't that something? Ain't that smart? Ain't that smart? The government is using us to kill ourselves. Now, how crazy, now how stupid do we look? How crazy do we look? It's a damn shame. Big salute, y'all. Love y'all, man. Aye.